It's no secret that the F-22 Raptor is one of the most impressive feats of engineering humans have ever accomplished, and it's definitely one of the scariest aircraft to ever fly above this Earth. However, did you know it's got a long-lost brother from across the pond? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the EUROFIGHTER Typhoon. Look at this guy. He's kind of cute with his little cheek wings up here. These are Delta Canard wings that help aid in agility and maneuverability up in the sky. But yes, this is somewhat of a competitor with the F-22. In a lot of ways, in other ways, it can't really keep up. We're going to talk about it today, but it was built over in Europe at the same time we were building the F-22, and we're going to have some fun with it today. Okay, so here in the cockpit, first things first, we're going to want to turn off our covers and chocks. We want to expose all of our orifices and get ready to roll out of here, so we're going to turn these off, and they should disappear. Next up over here on the right side, we've got our battery and avionics, so let's get our computers fired up. Ooh, look at this. Lots of data and things that I have no idea what's going on, but we're just going to roll with it. We've also got our APU generator over here, so we're going to fire that up. We're going to hit the left and right main shutoff valve for the engines. We've also got these guys here. There's a little flippy-uppy thing, and we can turn the engine 1 IGN on. Same thing with engine 2, and then these four here. We're going to turn on the generators and the starters, and this thing should hopefully start to fire up. Your boy watched a YouTube tutorial on this beforehand. I think I remembered everything. I'm sure there's some other buttons and knobs and things we could flip. There was stuff down here, turning on your radar and your heater and anti-ice and stuff like that. But we should be okay. We're going to be taking off from London today. We're going to be flying to Paris. It's going to be great. But it looks like things are starting to fire up. Listen to those engines purr, baby. Do we have... Oh, okay. Yep, we've got some action. That is pretty cool. I just love jets so much. I love learning about these. I love doing all the research to, get the facts on them and where they came from and why they came to exist and stuff like that. And this, honestly, this is just really, really cool. This one's crazy. This one was developed by like 5 different countries. UK, France, Italy, Spain, let me double check. Germany, can't forget about Germany too. So yeah, it was a joint effort between all of these countries, and it's honestly one of the coolest pieces of tech and pieces of equipment to ever come out of Europe. They call it the most successful and significant joint defense project to ever come out of the region, and man, this thing is mean, bro. Like I've definitely played like Ace Combat games or other fighter games, and I remember seeing the jet that had the canards. There's a few jets that have it, but this is kind of the most famous, most significant one, so it's kind of cool to put a face to a name here. So anyway, I think we're all fired up. Let's go ahead and start our taxi out of here. So we're going to remove our parking brake and just kind of start turning here. Dude, this thing is incredible. Look at this. Turning on a dime. Your boy doesn't need to be pushed back out of here. We can just straight up turn on the spot, and then we should be able to just taxi out of here. We also could close our canopy. We're going to see that come down. Beautiful. And we are going to start our slow roll out of here, out onto the runway here at London. I think we're at Heathrow. To be honest, I'm not sure. I just chose the first one that I saw, and like I said, we're going to be flying across the channel. We're going to be going to Paris. It's going to be great. Should be a fairly short flight, and hopefully a successful one. Now, I'm not sure which way. We should just be able to cut the runway here, no problem. This thing has some very short takeoff capabilities. She is an absolute rocket ship. When I said it was the long-lost brother of the F-22, it truly is. Like, F-22 is borderline impossible to beat, but to be honest, in some ways, this thing does it. It's really, really impressive. So we're going to pull out into the middle here. Let's come to a complete stop just for dramatic effect. Park her out here on the runway, and just gonna send it. Here we go. Full afterburner takeoff. Let's get the heck out of here. We got a flight to catch. We got to get to Paris as quick as possible. Take a look inside of what this looks like. Dude, look at how fast this plane is, and check this out. How about we just go straight vertical? Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, All right, we can do a little loop-de-loop. Why not? Dude, this thing is absolutely incredible. It's got one of the most impressive, like, thrust-to-weight ratios of any fighter jet out there. And off we go. We should probably figure out where we're going to be going first. Our flight path should be taking us southeast. Yep, there it is. Do we have that in here? I think... Is it the white that we're looking for? All right, let's make sure we don't end up crashing right off the bat. We could honestly turn off the afterburners and kind of chill out a minute. Getting on our flight path over to Paris here. Into subsonic speeds here. Just broke back through the sound barrier. And all right, here we go. I think we should be in a decent spot for our flight path here. The thing moves so fast, it's going to be really hard to keep her where she's supposed to be, but we're just going to try to do our best. Looking pretty good. I'm liking this. Maybe a little bit left, and we're just going to cruise along the English countryside here as we talk about this absolutely magnificent beast of a jet. Oh my goodness, dude. It is so cool looking. So the Eurofighter Typhoon, a first flight in 1994, entered service in 2003. Like I said, it was a joint project by a bunch of European countries: UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. It is a multi-role fighter. It mainly focuses on air-to-air and air-to-ground, and honestly, it exceeds at air-to-air. Think about jets like the F-16, the F-22, jets that were really designed to be super quick, super agile, really good in dogfighting situations. This is in that class. Now, the F-22 is also a bit more on like the futuristic stealth technology, that sort of thing. We're going to talk about that later, but in terms of just raw capability, this aircraft is in that class with those. Now, these cute wings that we were talking about on the cheeks up here are the Delta Canard wings. I think Delta is just kind of the shape of the wing. It's like the triangle, but then the canards are obviously, you can have those on cars and things. That's kind of the placement of them. So these bring the lift point of the aircraft forward, and they purposefully make it unstable. Now, if you guys remember some of our previous jet episodes, like the F-16 and stuff, similar situation there. They make the aircraft so it can't be flown by itself. You need supercomputers, you need the assists of, you know, all the technology and stuff inside the jet. No pilot could just fly it by itself because it's not stable. However, when you combine the computers with the pilot and the instability, it makes it so that it can fly, but it can also turn and move and duck and dive and dodge and do everything a lot faster than a traditional stable airplane could. Now, if we throw a little bit more juice into this thing, we've got our afterburner on here. We can go speeds of Mach 2, and once we get into supersonic speeds, past the speed of sound, that is where the lift point actually moves back a little bit and the aircraft becomes much more stable. Now, it's also a lot more efficient, so this thing can super cruise, which means you can actually stay above the speed of sound without using your afterburners. You can go farther, you can be more fuel efficient, stuff like that. And it looks like we have just flown from London to the edge of the country, just like that. Dude, that is beautiful. Are you kidding me? Let me bring up our map here. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not like a super, not super familiar. This would be Southampton over here off to the right? I'm left out of there on a cruise. Dude, this is incredible. All right, this is the English Channel. Straight ahead there is France and Paris. That's where we're going. Let's get there a little bit quicker. Dude, this is just so cool. Just flying along the cloud. It's so quiet. It's peaceful in here. You get the hum of the airplane, but you can't hear the absolute maniac of horsepower and thrust back behind you. You know what I mean? Like, you're chilling. You're looking out over the great blue expanse, just casually going Mach 2. Off to the left over there, that's France already. That's insane. Oh my goodness, dude. We are moving so fast. We're like a third of the way, almost halfway across the channel already, just like that. Dude, this is absolutely outrageous. Ooh, I forgot about this. When you're supersonic, you've got the silence and then the sonic boom. Love that. Dude, this game is just so incredible. Getting a little bit off course here, so we're gonna try to correct. Is that might be our point that we're trying to fly to right there. We'll see, but yeah, we're just gonna keep flying over the ocean here. So let's talk about this thing compared to the F-22 Raptor, because they're kind of brothers from across the pond, but at the same time they're also very different, and it's kind of crazy how they both came out at basically the same time. So, like I said, this thing came out in 1994. That was the first flight. The first flight of the F-22 was in 1997, just 3 years later. This thing was first introduced in 2003. The Raptor just 2 years later in 2005. So these were being developed and everything all at the same time. They've got very similar characteristics, like physically and physical capabilities. However, this is more of a Gen 4.5 fighter, whereas the Raptor is a true Gen 5 fighter. By the way, we're already coming up on France. Dude, this is outrageous. That looks really beautiful down there. Let's go check that out. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, this thing is so sick. So basically what happened is when they were developing this Eurofighter Typhoon, they wanted to completely perfect the abilities of aircraft at the time. There were other Gen 4 aircraft, and they said, hey, let's take this and let's make this the best of Gen 4. And they definitely accomplished that. Like, this thing is borderline considered like a Gen 4.5. It's that good. This was the pinnacle of dogfighting. You couldn't find a better jet for dogfighting and turning on a dime and accelerating and you know, having the advantage when you're in an actual dogfight. The F-22 has that ability, but it kind of focuses more on taking the pilot out of flying. The F-22 can see you from further away. It can come up on you before you realize it's there. It can pretty much kill you before you even see it. So while it has the ability to dogfight like that, it's not really meant to use it. It's kind of a step above, and honestly, it really outclassed itself compared to this thing, even though technically if you were strictly going on a dogfight versus dogfight, this would probably win. The tech on the F-22 is just so far above and beyond. It's crazy to think that it literally came out 2 years afterwards. So, you know, just different goals, I guess, and I think the F-22 ended up being the better deal of the two. I just can't get over how freaking beautiful this game is. Look at all this farmland. I didn't expect this, I guess. I don't know. This is like very Midwest looking, like just a bunch of fields. I guess it makes sense. You know, rural France, what else are they going to do out there? We got lots of wineries and stuff. All the old buildings and, oh, dude, this is just so beautiful. Are we still going the right way? Let me see. Is that our objective? That's got to be our objective over there. We're going the wrong way. We're going to have to take a right. We're going over yonder. But yeah, it's really interesting. So like this plane, it very technologically advanced. In terms of dogfighting, honestly, probably the best dogfighter of all time, if not in the conversation. You know, it's not like this has gone up against the F-22. They've done like training simulations and stuff, but they'll never fight each other because why would they? We're allies. But yeah, it's meant to be a pilot's plane. Like, this is for dogfighting, but dogfighting is kind of old at this point. You know, the F-22 and even the F-35 afterwards, you don't need to dogfight anymore because they can see you from so far away. They can kill you before you even know they're there. There's just no reason for it. And I think in a lot of the combat scenarios, what would happen is the F-22 would go in, they would destroy the surface-to-air missiles, they would get all the intel on targets, they would do everything else, and then the next day or the next week or whatever is when these Typhoons would come in and they would drop some of the ordnance and stuff. So it's interesting how they've been able to work together. It's also really interesting, again, that they were so close together, but they ended up being so far apart in ways and kind of similar in others. I don't know. It's very, very interesting. Let's break the sound barrier again here. We got to get to France. There it is. Beautiful. It's going to get nice and quiet, but it is really cool. You know, there aren't a lot of jets that can say that they can beat the F-22 in anything, and this one can. It's got a higher thrust to weight ratio. It's, I think the acceleration is faster. Technically, top speed is not as fast, but it can accelerate even more rapidly, and it can turn at higher speeds and carry speed and ultimately dogfight better. So very interesting plane, very interesting looking, really well made, just maybe a little outdated. I think this thing had to come out a little bit earlier when we were still dogfighting and before it turned into a whole I'm a ghost in the sky and you never saw me coming. I think we might be coming up on Paris soon. Charles de Gaulle is north of the city, right? Northeast of the city. I wouldn't mind doing like a little fly through Paris. I'm definitely not an expert, dude. This is so beautiful. Look at all the windmills and everything. The Paris countryside is something else. I say we get down a little bit lower and check it out. Oh my gosh, dude, we are going so fast. This is just incredible. All right, we've got a little bit of verticality here. I think we're gonna end up coming over these hills and seeing Paris at some point. Oh my God, Trev. All right, let's not. I was gonna try to get really low and do like a little tail drag, but I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's necessary. Dude, I love the jets in this game. Holy cow. I want more of the Top Gun Maverick DLC. We've got to be getting close, right? Are we off to the left? Is that what the pink over here means? I think you want to get that all lined up. This says LFPG. I thought we were going to CDG, but that might be a different name. Oh, there it is. All right, Charles de Gaulle, the big airport in France. So I think if we take a right, we should be able to find Paris somewhere off over yonder. Wow, look at that. That is so cool. Yeah, this looks like we're starting to get a little bit more into town here. Again, I am not an expert by any means. I wouldn't mind flying by the Eiffel Tower, just seeing it. I don't know what the odds are of us finding it. I found it. Let's go, baby. Oh my goodness. All right, let's slow things down a little bit, and we're just gonna go do a little buzz of the tower here. Chelsea and I went to France once, went to Paris once. Had a lot of fun, but honestly, it was just a little bit too cold that winter. I really want to go back in the summertime. I really want to explore the city and eat along the river and you know, have a picnic and stuff like that. Wow. Oh my goodness. Dude, this game is laggy, but it's truly miraculous. Holy cow. See you later, Paris. Good to see ya. One of the most romantic cities on earth right there. We are gonna head back to CDG, or really wherever we see first. And we're gonna try to put this bird down. She is cruising though, dude. How fast are we going? I'm not oh, 600 knots. Holy cow. We could boost that up quite a bit very quickly too. How about 700? All right, where's, looks like we're gonna be over here fairly okay, well, we're gonna way overshoot this. Gonna throw our air brake on here, but I don't think we're gonna be able to slow it down quick enough. We might. I actually think we did. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and put our landing gear down. Didn't really get a good look at putting that up earlier. And here we go. Hello? 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 A bit too much there, Trev. A bit too much slowing down, but I think we're gonna be okay now. Here we go. It's a bit of a rough. I've seen cleaner landings. I honestly didn't expect the speed brake, the air brake, the whatever you want to call it, to work that well. That thing slowed us down like crazy. I thought we were going to crash, but we ended up getting it done. Welcome home, boys. Let's go ahead and pop the canopy. I think at this speed, it actually probably won't let us. Dude, look at this. Looks like a mech out of like a cartoon. You know what I mean? This thing is ridiculous. All right, can we go ahead and turn our engines off here? Slow this thing down. Can I pop the canopy? I nearly died right there, so I'm honestly just really stressed. There it is. I need to get some fresh air in the mask. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. That, my friends, is the Eurofighter Typhoon. Kind of a fun way to look at something from across the pond. Didn't really know much about it until this episode. Still don't know much about it, but at least we've got some basic intel. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys in our next Flight Sim episode. Let me know what you guys want to see next. This thing looks so ridiculous. All right. I'll see you all later. Peace out.